Hey happy viewers, in this video we'll see how to propagate two beautiful plants in two different ways. These are astonishing plants mainly grown for their foliage and can be enjoyed both indoors and outdoors. Piggyback is such a spectacular plant both indoors and outdoors, but they can be really expensive. Interestingly, this expensive plant is very easy to propagate. There are a few different ways to propagate piggyback, but today I'll show you the layering method by which I've been mostly successful. Start by selecting a leaf that has got more leaflets already. The leaves with more leaflets have a good chance of succeeding. Now scoop some soil off and place the stem and cover it with soil. Gently press the soil so that they don't get washed away when you water the plant. Leave it like that for a month while it is still attached to its parent. You can select 2 or 3 more leaves and do the same thing. While you're doing the layering, try to select a leaf from each side of the plant. If you take this particular plant, half of the plant receives almost 4 to 5 hours of sun and half of the plant receives only 3 to 4 hours of sun. When I first propagated, I selected leaves from all 4 sides. I found that this particular side I've been always successful. It's because this side receives a little more sun compared to the rest of the sides. I layered this leaf almost a month back. In just a month, you can see there is a lot of fruit growth. I also propagate using cuttings, and I noticed that this is how it looked in 3 weeks, whereas by layering method, it looked a lot better. So that is the reason I always stick to layering. After scooping, if you see some nice roots, you can remove them off the parent plant. Usually you'll not have a lot of browning on the leaf, but these brown spots are because of inconsistent weather. We had a lot of frosty nights, so that is the reason, but otherwise the plant looks good to be planted. So I'm going to plant this in a pot. You don't have to worry about the little piece of stem that is sticking out. You can just put some soil over that and cover it and plant it in water well. I propagated this from the same plant and planted it about a month back, and you can see it has already started to take its signature shape. There are leaves that are coming from every side, and in no time this is going to be a wonderful ground cover. This is planted in a full shade position as opposed to its parent plant, which is planted in a part shade position, and you can see how different the green color is. It has so many different hues of green, and I absolutely love this gradient effect. The newer leaves look in a lighter green color, and the older leaves have a darker green color. The next plant that we're going to see today is a sedum. It is called as a gold sedum, and some cultivators also call it as a lemon coral sedum. It's the only sedum that I've planted in my cottage section and put such a spectacular show. Just have to take 1 or 2 cuttings from your plant. It can be anything, any part. You really don't have to be selective about which part of the plant you're cutting from, because every piece is going to take off brilliantly. I have taken 2 cuttings. I think it's good to divide the bigger piece into a few more pieces. I already have planted a few cuttings in this in the morning today, so I'm just going to poke a few holes and pop each cutting into one of those holes. I've taken regular garden soil in this pot. Sedum is not really particular about the type of soil that you use. It is a very hardy plant, less fuzzy. It can grow in rockeries as a ground cover in any flower bed and almost any type of soil. Just see to that you don't soak it with water, because this is a succulent and it likes to be watered only when the top layer dries off a bit. I had propagated the sedum a few days back. They had just broken off from the main plant, so I popped them into the soil, and I think around 10 days they were tiny roots, so I thought I'll put them in this flower pot arrangement. And this is how it looked on the day of planting. This is how it looks today. you can see there is a lot of side growth, a lot of branches that have taken off from the main branch, and this one is growing tall. But the small one, I really don't know how that has come, but you can see sedums give you a lot of surprise. So sometimes the success ratio is more than 100%. That's how I feel. Now we have planted everything and it looks good. I hope this video was useful to you, so give it a try and enjoy your baby plants. There are more interesting DIY coming soon, so watch this space for more. Thank you for subscribing, and if you have not, please do. Let's learn, support, and inspire through our gardens. Happy gardening!